Hi there, in this video we'll be looking at the AVerVision U50 visualizer from Aver. It's certainly the biggest and heaviest visualizer that I've used so far, but how does that translate in terms of performance? Let's take a look. I'm very familiar with the design of the U50 since I've been using an older visualizer from Aver's U series, the U15, for about 10 years now. The U50 might be an improvement as far as the sensor and internal electronics goes, but externally it's just about identical. So apart from a quick start guide and a CD containing Aver's A+ suite of software, we get the U50 visualizer itself and a USB cable to connect it to your computer. Setting up was certainly easy enough, and it's just a case of extending the flex arm like so that the camera sensor is above the paper, book or object that you want to view. Now, I'm not a big fan of these gooseneck style arms because it can take a while to get the camera sensor perfectly level. But the arm itself and the rest of the visualizer certainly seems solidly built. As I said before, the design of the U50 is basically the same as the U15, which is around about 10 years old, and it would have been nice to have updated things a little by incorporating an integrated USB cable rather than have to carry around the U50 and the cable separately. Here are some of the U50's features. First off, it has a built-in microphone which, because it's close to your mouth, should allow you to record videos or make Zoom calls and the likes with clearer sound. Another feature which isn't found in all visualizers is the use of the LED lights to help illuminate your subject. The U50 also has 3 buttons on its camera head. The capture button for taking still images of the document or object that you're viewing, the LED button for switching on and off those 6 LEDs, and the autofocus button to ensure your image is nice and sharp. Finally, to help you move your visualizer from place to place, it has this built-in handle. For those of you who want to know, the U50 has a resolution of 5 megapixels, meaning that it can output images up to 2592 by 1944 pixels. The minimum focus distance wasn't printed in the documentation, but I found it to be around about 7 centimeters, which allows you to get nice and close to the object you're viewing. It can output up to 30 frames per second and has a maximum capture area of 483 by 362 millimeters, which is larger than an A3 piece of paper. It weighs in at 1.5 kilograms and it'll set you back about 200 pounds. Let's see the U50 in action then. The first thing I wanted to do was find out how it performs without its dedicated software. This is how it looks using the camera app on PC. Clear and in focus. So you can expect a similar quality of image in Zoom, Teams meeting or whichever software you're using. That means you should have no problem using the U50 straight out of the box. In fact, it was the AVerVision U15 which I first used to stream live physics lessons on YouTube, and it always worked well and without any problems. Next, I tried the U50 visualizer with the Sphere 2 app from Aver. It's a solid piece of software with all the tools that you'll need to deliver lessons either in person or online. The interface looks a little dated, but it's certainly stable and isn't going to crash on you mid-lesson. With it, you'll be able to manipulate your image by rotating it, use the digital zoom to make objects appear larger on screen, adjust brightness, contrast, exposure, white balance and so on. You can also make annotations which appear above what you're viewing with the U50, which is useful when delivering a lesson, as well as highlight parts of the screen, obscuring everything else. One feature of the software I was interested in was the record function, which allows you to output a video in MP4 format. Here's a sample video I took using the U50 with the Sphere 2 app. So this is the second test of the AVerVision U50 for sound. We said the first time when we were doing this, the voltage is 10 volts across the resistor, the current in the resistor, and in fact in the series circuit it's 2 amps. So I'm sure you can see that I'm not getting the full 30 frames per second, but the image is certainly clear and in focus. Initially I wasn't too happy with the sound until I realised that I had to adjust the sensitivity of the U50's built-in microphone. With a little more trial and error, I'm sure that it would have sounded even better, although it was perfectly usable after a quick adjustment. If you want free software that will produce better quality recordings from the U50 with a higher frame rate and the ability to tinker with the video and audio output, then I'd recommend taking a look at OBS. The final thing that I wanted to test was the minimum focus range, for when you want to get in close to your subject without resorting to using the digital zoom, which can cause the image to look blurred. As I said before, I found this to be about 7 centimeters, which allowed me to take these images of an Arduino Nano board. In conclusion, the Aver U50 is a solid piece of kit which performs well. There's nothing flashy about the visualizer itself or the software that comes with it, but both are reliable and have all the features you'll need. So if the U series of visualizers hasn't changed in around 10 years, that's maybe because they got things right in the first place. I'd still want to see an integrated USB cable and updated software, but that's not a deal breaker, and I'd certainly recommend the AVerVision U50 if you're considering getting one. If you found this video useful, then give it a thumbs up and let me know what's your favourite visualizer in the comments section. See you next time.